G'day folks, it's Rob here. This week's clip is going to be a very short renovation update due to a incoming cyclone, which we'll get to in a minute. A bit of a look at a pest we've got in the patch and their selective habits, and also a bit of a heads up for you new followers who haven't been around for long, just on some of the older videos you might want to check up on until I post a new backyard farming or aquaponics one. So the last update you folks saw was that we had some joists and bearers put up for the decking. Well, now downstairs is pretty much all framed in, and they're just waiting to get the internal stairs sorted and some weatherboard, and they'll be enclosing all downstairs. And then after that's done, they'll put in things like the bathroom sink and also the toilet and that sort of thing. Upstairs wise, they've taken off the weatherboards, which I showed you recently, and they've also had the asbestos guys come in and remove all the asbestos paneling from the kitchen and the walkway out to the toilet, which is going to be the new back stairs. So I really don't have a lot to show you upstairs, but I can tell you that we have all the trusses for the new extension, all the bits and pieces needed to frame in that. But due to Cyclone Uma coming down the coast of Queensland, and she looks like she's heading towards southeast Queensland, Brisbane-ish, it looks like these guys aren't going to go any further with the house until they know what the weather pattern's going to be doing. So they might be having a couple of days off yet, and I don't blame them. I don't really want them to take the roof and the walls off the house just to have a cyclone come through here. Even though we wouldn't get the full effect, we'd get the heavy rain and winds that's associated with it. So one milestone they reached last week was putting on the front stairs. We were really chuffed, and until we realised that all we're going to do is walk up the front stairs into an empty home. So yeah, but it is good to, you know, have access in there, so once they get into framing up, we'll be able to go up there rather than climbing a ladder to check out what's going on. So that's enough looking at the house. What I thought I'd do is just show you something I've already showed our supporters. All our lemons on our dwarf lemon tree have been stung by the blooming Queensland fruit fly. We've had real issues with them in the past on different fruits. The pepino bush next to it here, we lost all its fruit due to the fruit fly this season. They'll also hit any unprotected tomatoes, capsicums or peppers that we have growing around the place. It's a real shame I missed these guys, because this was the first decent crop of lemons we had. By the time the next crop's on though, we'll be moved back into the house and we'll be able to put some little stockings over here just to stop the fruit fly from getting in there. The shame of the thing is that these guys here, these tomatoes, they can't be stung by the Queensland fruit fly. I have seen them before try, but I think it's just because they're such a tight little skin on such a small fruit, they can't get their ovipositor through. I mean, we got loads of these fruit down in here, if I can bring the camera down to show you, and we've been taking in a handful or two back around to the house just to have with salads. These are the broad ripple yellow currants, by the way. Now, as for the other citrus, down here over the top of our pond, we have a lime tree with a load of limes on it. Some of them here look like they're starting to turn, so I might have to nip them off. And I have never ever, whoops, sorry camera, I've never ever seen any Queensland fruit fly strike these guys. None of these fruit here have been hit by the look of it. Got some more fruit up in here as well. And yeah, they never seem to be affected by the Queensland fruit fly whatsoever. We do get thrips and a scale insect on here and that sort of thing, but we generally find the little black lady beetles come along and look after the scale. So we really don't have any pest issues with these Tahitian limes. I have had a few issues trying to keep the nutrients up to it though, as you can see. You folks who have been following us for a while would know that it's an ongoing battle. Something I tend to do is feed it every couple of months, but she never actually ends up with these nice deep green leaves for a long period of time. I mean, it hasn't really affected the yield. We've got those ones there, we've got these ones I showed you over here. There's more over the back there if you can see them through the glare, as well as the ones I showed you up here and all around the other side as well. So yeah, all in all, we're pretty happy with this tree, and yeah, she definitely does appear to be fruit fly resistant. And just for you folks who like a regular update on the aquaponics, as you can see, the hoe and knock plant has taken off. It's starting to smother the poor thyme down the bottom and Brazilian spinach, and the mushroom herbs started to kick off again this season as well. And I've got a nice big green Egyptian spinach up there. We're growing for the pods. We're going to try eating the pods this season. A mate of mine, Mark, g'day Mark, told us that we can eat them, so we thought we'd give them a crack. So just quickly for you folks who are new to our channel here, I primarily focus on just trying to grow food in the backyard. The renovations have just taken a bit of a front seat at the moment, because we've moved out of the house and I can only just pop back here a few times a week just to tend the garden, make sure the water's in the system and that sort of thing. But if you are interested in more aquaponic clips, you can check out our playlist on building a backyard aquaponic system. It runs through a couple of simple builds and also has a couple of component builds in there as well. And I also have an Aquaponics 101 playlist that runs through a couple of helpful tips and tricks that can help you run a system a little bit more smoothly. Also have a playlist that looks at the self-watering wicking beds that we make up here. They're pretty much a garden bed with a reservoir in the bottom. Saves you a load of water, and for you folks in hot climates, your plants are going to love you for it if you decide to make a wicking bed. And there's also playlists on the root pouches, which is a product that I sell. You can check out our store actually, just up in that little link up in there. So I also have a couple of food growing playlists. There's one in particular that has a lot of spice. It's got turmeric and ginger and that sort of thing, and how to process it once you've harvested it. And also a playlist looking at planting things out like broccoli and sweet potato as well. So if you want to check out those clips, there would have been a couple of thumbnails that have just popped up there, but you can also go down to the description below and there'll be a list of all the different playlists if you want to check them out. Oh, and the one I forgot, the chicken feeders and chicken waterers. So if you've got a couple of backyard chickens, yeah, that might help you out as well. But I will pretty much leave it there. Hopefully by next week we'll have a little bit more movement on the house if the cyclone doesn't hang around too long, and I'll be able to give you a more up-to-date update on that. And fingers crossed there might be a very short aquaponic clip coming as well. And as always, I've got to thank those awesome supporters over on Patreon and the YouTube membership area. Thank you very much folks for supporting the channel. Just to let you know as well, I've been working pretty much every day this week on the new website that will host my new membership pages where you get free info and videos and that sort of thing. So keep an eye out for that. Hopefully it'll be up and running in the next month or so's time. Yeah, but I will pretty much leave it there. I do hope you're all well and happy in your gardens and aquaponics are booming, and I'll catch you next clip. Cheers folks.